Hey guys, this is Chef Mike with Chef Mike's Baking Company. How are y'all doing today? Happy Easter. We are in the Easter weekend. I know it's been a few weeks since we've been on here. We've had a lot of things going on. Like I said in the last video, life happens. This refrigerator went down on us. I had to get under there and clean all of that out. Had a little frozen evaporator coil, I think is what it's called. I don't know. So today, what I'm going to do is we are having company over tomorrow for Easter around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I will be working, so my wife is going to be in charge of hosting the family. It happens with chefs during the holidays. You don't really have a holiday, you have work. So I'm going to fix up a quick dish. What I'm going to do is we're going to do a pork butt because that's something that's easily to reheat. What we're going to do today though is get everything seasoned up. I'm going to sear off the pork. We're not smoking it this time, so I'm showing you a different way to do the pork butt, and then we're going to do it in an oven. But we're going to make it very flavorful, not smoky, but it's going to be heated up. You can heat it up in the liquid that you cook it in, which will be its own juices. So let's get started. What I'm going to do first is we're going to do it in 3 stages. I'm going to do the things that go in the pot first, the vegetables. Then we're going to make our seasoning. And then we're going to take our pork butt and I'm going to show you how to prep that. We're going to sear it, throw it in the pot, and then we'll stick this in the oven. It'll go for about 4 hours at 350 degrees. We can pull it back out. I'll show you a quick picture of that when we get finished. But let's get started here. So I'm going to put some gloves on. I'm going to let you know that we're going to use 1 cutting board today. Usually I use a couple of different cutting boards, but with this being, you want to be sanitary when you're doing this at your house. So we're going to do it in the stage of the things that's not going to get, when you're doing pork, you want to do pork the very last thing. So what we're going to do first though, is we're going to get, I've got an apple, I've got a mandarin orange, I've got celery, and I got red onions. I got a pot with a little bit of oil in it, and we're going to take all of this and we're going to sear it off. So I'm going to cut this, and this is going to be rough chop because this is going to be the bed of our pork. All right. When you're doing something that you're not going to use, it's okay to use the skin. Sorry, I'm going to talk a little bit loud because I know that stove's a little loud. So we're going to take this, and we're going to throw this whole thing right in the pot here. Alright. Now we won't be using any of the products in the pot except for the pork. So it's okay to use the skin, pit, seed. So all I'm going to do with this apple here is take it, cut it in quarters, throw it in, just like that. Take this little orange, squeeze it with my hand a little bit, get a little bit of that liquid in there. Alright, and we're going to set that to the side, just like that. I want that to kind of burn a little bit because that salt flavor will be great inside of the dish. So, we got this here. We're just going to set it and we're going to turn it on low. Alright, so now let's make our seasoning here. Alright, so what we're going to start off with, anytime I do seasoning, I do mostly sugar, especially if it's pork, because we want it sweet, and then I do salt. So I've got about 1.5 cups of brown sugar. I'm going to take about maybe 1/2 cup of salt. Now, guys, you're not going to use all of this, I promise. This is just for seasoning. You can take this and you can use it and put it in a container. And we will use it again for another pork later on for something we might smoke. This will last for 6 to 7 months. You can use it on your Christmas ham, whatever you want to do. This is just a general seasoning. So we've got 1.5 cups of brown sugar. We've got maybe 1 cup of salt. Anytime I do pork, I like to use cinnamon. So I'm going to do a couple of tablespoons of cinnamon here. That's about 1.5 there. Alright, I got some ground ginger. Cinnamon and ginger go great together. We'll do about a tablespoon of that. Alright. I decided that I wanted a little heat on this pork, so we'll do about a tablespoon of Tony Satchers. This is Cajun seasoning here, this little Creole seasoning. I'm gonna go with that Sure Shot Sid's gunpowder seasoning. Boy, I bet you can't say that 5 times fast. Sure Shot Sid's. Man, that's a tough name. All right, so this is the gunpowder seasoning. I'm gonna go about with a tablespoon of that. And since we're dealing with pork, I'm gonna go ahead with Sure Shot Sid's. This is smoky bacon gunpowder seasoning. So we're going to about 2 tablespoons of that. We're going to mix all this up. All right, so we got our seasoning. Just mixing it all around good in there. Okay. We have our pan here. All right, I've got a cast iron flat skillet there that I've already been seasoned, and I put a little bit of oil on. So now I'm going to just take and wipe the oil off a little bit, just in those hot spots here. This is what's going to season our pork. That's what we're going to sear our pork, not season our pork. I'm going to season the pork. All right, so what we're going to do, so we got our pork butt here. All right, I've used this for vegetables. I've used this for seasoning. Now I'm going to finish using this cutting board for pork, and then it needs to be sanitized with Clorox water. You do not need to do cross-contamination of going back to vegetables again. All right, so we're gonna take, this is the fat cap of the pork. If you can see there, we've got a bone here, we've got meat there, and then we've got a nice fat cap there. I'm not gonna take any of that off because I wanna use that. But we are gonna cut deep into it, all the way down to the meat. And we're doing that so that we can get our seasoning in. And we're gonna season this thing all the way around. And we're gonna do a cross here. All right, so we got nice big, see we went all the way to the meat there in our cuts. All right, we're gonna take one hand, all right, one hand clean, one hand dirty. We touch the pork with this one. We're gonna touch the seasonings with this one because we wanna use this seasoning again. So never touch the pork and then into the seasoning there because you'll not be able to use this again. All right, so we're just gonna season, not touching the pork there, and we're gonna pat it in. All right, we're gonna do this on all sides. Now, if you've got time, you can just let this sit for a couple of hours. And that just helps with the flavoring part of it, all right? Patting this on, seasoning as we go. You will lose some seasoning on the cutting board. It's all right, guys. All right. Now, we are ready to sear this off. We've got our seasoning on there. We are going to start with fat cap down. And the reason that is because we want this right here to help this pan get even, it won't be sticky. So we're going to start with this side down right here. This is the fat cap side. We're just going to throw it on there. And we're just trying to burn. I'm going to turn this fan on. Just burn it here. See all that seasoning burning? We just want this flavor of burnt seasoning. That sugar is real toasty. Okay, so we did this side here. We're just burning sugar here. Make sure that pan's really hot. This burnt flavor helps with barbecue. See, there you go. You got that sugar just caramelizing it. So it makes it really nice. We got one more side, which is the top side. Let that sit there. And I'm going to turn this thing up just like that. And we're going to let it sit there for just a minute. Alright, I'm going to turn the stove off. Alright, then we're going to set it on top of our vegetables here. If you notice, our vegetables are getting smaller because they're wilting down. Alright, we're going to take this whole thing right here and I'm going to set it on top of the vegetables. Just like that. Alright, I'm going to take a towel and get this off of here so we don't burn the whole house down. Be careful, guys, these things are really hot. Alright. So we've got our Boston butt in the pan here. We've got our vegetables in there. we're going to take and we're going to add a little bit of water, cold water. I'm sorry for the smoke, guys. It's just the smoke of this cast iron skillet here. Alright, so we're going to put a little bit of cold water in the bottom. It's going to help release whatever liquid and fond is in the bottom of that pan. Then we're going to take aluminum foil and we're going to cover it up really well. We turn our stove top off. And in about 4 hours, we'll be able to uncover this, and you'll have a perfect pork butt here that you can season with whatever you like, whatever kind of barbecue sauce you like. If you want to do barbecue sauce, you don't have to. You can take the liquid that's in the pan and use it as a gravy. We've set our stove at about 350, and we're going to let this go for about 4 hours here. Let's stick this in the oven. You want a little bit of vent, just so that the liquids will release. And there we go. So real easy. We season, we use vegetables, and guys, it's not vegetables. I mean, there's nothing really that you have to put in there. It's stuff that we like. We have some oranges left around, or apples left around. I've used applesauce. I've used honey. Anything that, like I said, my recipes are left up to interpretation. This is the way that I do it, but you can do it however you want to. I've seen people do big oranges. I've seen people do all just oranges in there because they want a real nice, fruitful, citrus flavor in their pork. So, the things that I do stick with, though, when I'm doing a pork butt, and this be it smoking or be it in the oven, is the sugar and salt content. You want that sugar, you want to kind of burn it. Same thing that you're doing in a smoker is you're caramelizing the sugar, salt sits, it releases some of the moisture, and it's going to help all the other liquids get in there. So, but what I'm going to do is we're going to cook this for 4 hours. Hey guys, this is Chef Mike, Chef Mike's Baking Company. We're back and we have got our pork ready. I mean, it is just tear off of the bone real easy. Got 2 forks here. Just kind of push it off to the side. You can just see how well it tears. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful thing. So, just to let you know, we cooked this for about 3.5 hours at 350. What we're going to do now is just let this sit and cool. And then tomorrow, my wife will heat it up in the liquid that it's in, but you'll want to strain all the stuff that's in the pot. Just get the liquid and then use that to heat up your pork. So, this is going to be a beautiful thing. She's made potato salad. We got baked beans. We got pork, just a little bit of pulled pork. We got some buns. So I'm thinking they're going to have a great Easter. And I'm going to have a good Easter at work because I get to serve other people with their families. So this is Chef Mike with Chef Mike's Baking Company. Y'all have a happy Easter and a blessed day. And from my family table to yours, y'all have a good one. And I hope y'all do this soon. Please comment, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and let me know what you think about the pork. Y'all have a blessed day.